Hello there, everybody. What Culture Wrestling's Adam Cleary here for your Good After News. Hashtag Good After News. I am, as I say, Adam Cleary, joined as ever by It's Adam Nicholas.
Hello.
And we've not got a whole lot to go through today. But when's that ever stopped us before? So, coming up, we have...
Another title match has been announced for Clash of Champions.
Daniel Bryan has finally broken his silence on the Amazon rainforest.
Indeed, Vince McMahon was not at SmackDown, and that meant bad news for everybody.
But first, I just want to address what is no doubt going to be the thumbnail for this video to entice in some of our thirstier viewers. Alexa Bliss has a new tattoo.
What do you mean, Adam? What could you possibly mean?
That's okay. That's not going to do any of that. Alexa Bliss has this new tattoo, and it's not just woman gets tattoo as a story, because there is quite a big story behind the story of the tattoo. She's done this absolutely mammoth Instagram post explaining the nature of it and whatnot. But let's just have a little quick look at it, because it's actually quite nice. It's done with white ink.
Yes,
which is
as opposed to the dark ink.
Yeah, because normally it's like painted. It looks like you've been drawn on, but
Indeed.
white ink's sort of like a surface level, sort of similar to your skin tone. It kind of raises it up, and it's a different way of doing tattoos. I think they look very nice, but I've never met anyone who's got one, so I never actually see them in the flesh. If you pardon the pun, but
look at that, man.
She's already got one across one shoulder blade, and now she's added this other intricate jewelry dangling thing. Anyway, if you want to read this. She did a massive post on Instagram. I'm not going to read the whole thing out because it's all about where she got matching tattoos with her friend when she was younger and this growing up and whatever. But one thing that does jump out is I don't know if you ever knew this, but Alexa Bliss had a serious eating disorder. She was hospitalised over it when she was younger.
I've watched
part of the part of the meaning behind the tattoo and part of the things that have been built into it are relating to that. So I'm going to read out what she said about it. In amongst there's a Mickey Mouse symbol because she likes Disney and whatnot, but it includes an eating disorder recovery symbol that blossoms into a flower for new beginnings. When I was hospitalised, my hospital room was decorated in Tinkerbell items because Tink was my favourite.
Of course.
So I have the second star from the right, from Peter Pan hanging down. And last but not least, when I was at the worst part of my eating disorder, my doctor wanted to send me to the inpatient centre in Pittsburgh because seeing 5 doctors a day still wasn't helping me. My parents made the decision to give me a break from seeing doctors all day, every day. It was a constant reminder of how sick I really was. So before having to be sent away, my parents took me to Disney World to give me a small break, which happened to be the best possible thing for me. When I went to Disney, I actually began to eat. Slowly but surely, by the end of the week, I had gotten so much healthier, I didn't need to go away to Pittsburgh. So Disney is not only my happy place, it's my healing place. So she's got lots of Disney motifs in there as well. That's lovely, isn't it?
A really nice sort of tidbit, because it's not often that you get this kind of sincerity from people online, because sincerity is scary, as the 1975 will tell you. But the thing here is that I like the fact she's been, she strikes me as the kind of person who doesn't mind being a bit vulnerable every now and again. And it would also explain why we've seen a few influences, perhaps in her attire, from other Disney franchises. The most recent one, of course, being the Buzz Lightyear attire that she had on at the pay-per-view that SummerSlam, there you go, it's a big one. There it is, good stuff.
We do these
so often,
don't we?
Yep.
It's no secret that Alexa Bliss is a massive Disney fan. If you follow her on any kind of social media platform, she's always making a big deal out of it. But to know that part of the reason behind it isn't just, I like Disney,
it's quite cool,
because it became a very personal place for her, a very important part in her history. It's great, and to be so open and honest about it as well. Like this isn't like it's not a 365 video. It's not a big press release. It's her personal Instagram. I can only hope this is, a good example to set to, because I'm sure there must be lots of women.
This is it.
Of a similar age to her there who must struggle with similar things. So if that can help them at all, that's good.
I think it's nice that she has a chance on that platform to say something, and she's obviously choosing to use it. And hopefully, someone needed to hear that, and they managed to hear it and read it. That's good.
Lovely story, that.
It is very nice. Another lovely story. Perhaps less serious, but also rather wonderful, is there's been another match, a title match announced for Clash of Champions. I know, hold your breath.
A title match?
It is, it's massive, it's huge, it's so big you're going to lose your mind. It's Drew Gulak, the Cruiserweight champion, is going to be taking on Humberto Carrillo at the show that they will be on this Sunday. It's going to be, not this Sunday.
I'm not going to be snippy about that, because that'd be a good match, wouldn't it?
I obviously led in with a bit of a joke there, but I should point out, Humberto Carrillo is sensational. Drew Gulak is fantastic.
Yeah.
The thing here is, what I'm liking to see about this Cruiserweight division is that they're giving other people a chance. It's not just, do you remember there was a point where it was a lot of like Cedric Alexander and Buddy Murphy, time and time again. Cedric Alexander and Ali, time and time again. It seems like they're giving more people a chance. We've seen Oni Lorcan, we've seen Tony Nese, we've seen various different guys get a shot at it. And also, the fact that they're putting on these matches on these shows and making them count and making them matter. Like, obviously, last night, Humberto Carrillo went one-on-one with Oni Lorcan. He got the win. So we're seeing another guy get a chance, and it's another spotlight. And anybody who's looking at SmackDown or Raw right now must be looking at Mustafa Ali, at Buddy Murphy, at Cedric Alexander. Those are guys who are now 3 guys in a prominent position on those shows. That's got to be good for them.
There's an argument to be made that the Cruiserweight division's providing as much talent for the main roster at the minute as NXT is, really.
I would say,
if you look at how so many of them are struggling to make the transition from NXT to the main roster, some of them are even moving back down at the minute.
That's it.
The Cruiserweights, Well,
there's a time when 205 Live was considered the poison chalice in terms of if you went there like you were a Kenta or Hideo Itami who went there, he was there to just kind of die out, wasn't he? That was it. But I mean, we've seen 3 guys in prominent roles come onto Raw and SmackDown now, and obviously, like, they're being pushed under this new regime, whether that's Paul Heyman or whatever. It has changed promising.
A lot. If you look at sort of the initial lineage of that belt, obviously TJ Perkins won it. Don't like to talk about him. Rich Swann. No, they don't really like to talk about him.
We're getting in worse territory as we go along.
Then won it. And it was like, oh, he's really good, but he's left. He's fallen out. He's working for a rival now. And then I forget who was after Pac. Enzo Amore. Yeah, so it was kind of.
Hang on. You can't mention his name and not do an impression.
Enzo Amore.
There you go.
I got told off on Twitter today for doing impressions.
You did, but that was because you kind of didn't commit to the impression fully. Everybody who saw your Enzo impression loved it. He does impressions for a living. He's basically a comedian.
This is an impression. I'm not even a real person. I do an impression of a real person. But anyway, that's good. That'll be a good match.
Yeah, will be. Along with, just in case anybody else is interested, the title matches we already have are Bayley versus Charlotte for the SmackDown Women's title.
Hyped.
Seth Rollins and Strowman versus Ziggler and Rude for the Tag Team Championships. What a complete kerfuffle that is. Rollins versus Strowman for the Universal Championship, and Kofi Kingston versus Randy Orton for the SmackDown Championship.
It's a bit of a mess, isn't it?
WWE
really?
Championship.
It's a bit of a mess.
It is. There's title matches on. That's it. That's all the ones that have been announced so far. I'm sure more are to come.
I hate the name Clash of Champions, by the way. Just as an aside.
Yeah.
It always implies to me that the champions should be fighting each other.
Yes, and it's a bit like the
Survivor Series is actually the Clash of Champions.
It is.
But hey, I digress.
Hey-ho.
Anyway, speaking of a former champion with a clash, I don't know. Daniel Bryan has been doing an interview for, and I want to get this right because it's not a source we use quite a lot, superluchas.com.
Yes, okay.
They're a website, as you might have gathered from that name. And amongst the many myriad of questions, you go check out that interview if you get the time, amongst the myriad of questions he was posed was one about the Amazon rainforest. Now, if you've missed all this, 1, how, but 2, basically, the Amazon rainforest, which produces, I think I'm right in saying, 1/3 of the world's oxygen.
Indeed.
The lungs of the world, it's called, has been burning.
The literal world is on literal fire.
The literal world is on literal fire.
Yeah.
All the governments and all the billionaires and everybody got together and they managed to come up with, I think I'm right in saying, somewhere between 40 and 60 million to fix this.
Yeah.
The movie Boss Baby.
I know.
The movie Boss Baby got 100 million to make that.
I can't get started down this road because we'll be here.
Yeah, anyway, so that's Daniel Bryan, whose gimmick is sort of an environmentalist, but also who himself does care about these things.
Indeed.
And I've picked out some of the more interesting. There is reams of what he said about this, all basically along the lines of, Jesus, this is terrible, why isn't somebody sorting it out? But some of the more interesting things he says was that, I hate to get into the politics, but there are people letting it burn so they can use the land for other
They're
things.
literally letting it burn. They're happy to let it burn.
I will say, I hate to get into the politics, but here are some politics.
And
I can't see that going down well, particularly with WWE. Anyway, then he gets on to the diversity of the species in the Amazon rainforest, higher than anywhere else in the world. Did you know? He goes on this big thing about the size of the mushrooms there, and how it's the biggest mushrooms. People don't know
love mushrooms
the mushrooms interact.
That's not even a joke.
Well, being a vegan, you would.
Love mushrooms, yeah.
Being a vegan, if I went vegan,
it'd be a staple of the diet,
everything would be mushroom this and mushroom that. Anyway, we already know about the impact caused by the reduction in the number of bees and the danger it represents. However, this is a devastating scenario. Now, WWE have had no official line on the burning of the Amazon rainforest.
I can't think why.
So this is interesting, really, mostly because he has been accused to talk about bees and how if all the bees die, we die. I don't think enough people realise that. So I want to take this opportunity, this platform I have on a occasionally daily secondary wrestling news show on a wrestling YouTube channel to say, if the bees die, we die. So if you see any bees in the summer and they're on their back and they're wriggling around,
do the little trick.
Little cap from a drinks bottle with some sugar and some water in it. about 1/3 sugar water and then give it to the bee. And then, because then we might not die.
Now, I realise you're all sitting there thinking, this isn't the content I came for. But we need to wake up people because stuff's going on.
If we all die, nobody can make content.
How can we make you the content if we're
the
all
bees
dead?
die, there's no YouTube.
No.
There you go.
There is no what culture.
What was the other story?
Anyway, maybe that's what you want. Who knows? Speaking of things that would be better off dead.
Oh, Jesus.
Swing and a miss, but we'll go with it anyway. Vince McMahon.
Oh, Jesus.
Apparently, he was absent from SmackDown this week, and he was doing a lot of the changes, last-minute changes, we should again point out, via the phone with people. Can you imagine how wonderful it was to be taking that phone call? I can't possibly think how that would have been difficult for anybody at all, even remotely. Yes.
I've got your link, what you should have said instead of things that would be better off dead. Speaking of the B show.
There he is.
There you go.
And
if you imagine
couldn't have just cut that back and put it over what I was saying. But basically, it's reported by the Wrestling Observer. It was Wrestling Observer Live. Bryan Alvarez was saying that Vince was phoning in to talk about the SmackDown script at the last minute, and Dave Meltzer then followed that up with a tweet where he was basically saying Vince was tearing up plans for tonight, and Meltzer said, good or bad, this is a heavy Vince show tonight. Anybody who watched SmackDown will know it was a little bit it's been lacking, I think, recently.
It's suffocating under the weight of its own main stories because they're very directionless and all over the place.
There's a lot of stuff going on when maybe there doesn't need to
Almost
be.
as if, I don't know, do you get the impression it's being written and then rewritten?
Can you imagine?
And it's not consistent and there's not any real clear direction with it.
Like you almost ran out of time, so you just got to go with what you've got. Yeah.
Or you had it all neatly planned out and then you get a phone call from some mad old haunted tree telling you to rip it up and put more goods in it.
Yeah, take that away and put something else in that's the opposite of that.
We hear a lot of this now, don't we? Like last-minute plans changing for Raw and for SmackDown, scripts being written up, Vince entirely rewriting the script right before the show goes on air, people literally going into segments not entirely sure what they're meant to be doing. And I know we have this every single time we do it, right? But how much longer can they keep doing this?
Well, I told you. I mean, I was going to say how long has he got left, but let's be honest, he's going to outlive them all.
He'll outlive me.
Even us. He'll outlive us, 100%.
Or, the bees. So
the bees.
Back to that.
Well, that's it. Maybe that's where we're going wrong.
We got a great Twitter question. Shall we move on to it now?
Yes.
Let's do that. It's going to flash up on screen, so I'm not going to feel too bad about forgetting who it came from.
Don't feel too bad about it.
But here's the interesting thing for you. Here's your question.
Okay.
You can swap right now.
So let's just pretend we said the Twitter handle of the person who's.
It's a great question. I just forgot to have it on hand.
Go on then.
You can swap right now. Someone from the main roster.
Yes.
And someone from NXT.
Ooh.
Permanently. Who are you doing and why?
That's interesting. As in, once it happens, that's it.
That's it.
Permanently. Ooh, I do like that now. I would swap if it's permanent.
Permanent feels harsh. I mean, like for the foreseeable.
Yeah, well, I'm happy to commit to permanent. If it's permanent, who do I not give a monkey's toss about NXT? It's tough because I want to see NXT survive live. That's the joke in issue here.
NXT survive live.
Survive live. I tell you what, although we need her and whatever, and there's a lot of people on there, I'd love to see Shayna Baszler on the main roster. I would love to see that very, very, very much. So let's put her on the main roster. I'm sure we could get Bianca Belair, could fill the gap and be the champ for the time being on NXT while they build up some more talents. Io Shirai as well down there. Who would go in the opposite direction? Does it have to be a woman or can it be a man?
Yeah, I mean, you present yourself with a booking conundrum if you mix it up.
I tell you what, we'll send down to NXT to go and get rid of some people. We'll send Nia Jax down there. Because
I was going to say Lacey Evans.
Well, you can send Lacey Evans down there.
I've not got that power.
Nia Jax purely because I feel like she could benefit from being down there a little bit longer. The heat might build back up and she could be a great heel. If we're going to lose a heel in Shayna Baszler, why not?
I would just swap Seth Rollins and Adam Cole and see how long it took anybody to notice. So there you go. That's your news for today. Let us know what you made of it all in the comments below. And of course, don't forget to like, share. There's something wrong about this. This looks different to you.
You do this every time.
I like this joke. Yeah, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. In the meantime, though, thank you so much for watching. We're going to get you on Twitter.
You can get me at Adam Cleary, Clery.
And you can get me, of course, it's Adam Nicholas. Get us all the big What Culture WWE family at What Culture WWE. But in the meantime, though, thank you so much for watching. This has been your hashtag Good Afternews. And I keep wanting to say see you, Suze, but it doesn't work. We'll see you, Suze. If anyone's watching called Susie, that feels
all
personal.
about the bees. Remember the bees.
The bees. The bees.
The bees.
The bees.